And normally, a government running a deficit equal to 12% of GDP or more would see a massive surge in borrowing costs. A government normally would have to go out and outbid the private sector for those funds. They'd have to borrow that money and compete with other people and other institutions borrowing money. But right now, we have a scenario in which the Bank of Canada is creating digital money to buy up government debt, at least $5 billion a week. The Bank of Canada is not just buying federal debt, Madam Speaker. They're buying corporate bonds, provincial government bonds, mortgage debt, commercial paper, bankers' acceptances. The Bank of Canada has bought up so much of this that the total assets they now hold increased from $120 billion at the beginning of March to $442 billion by last week. They've almost quadrupled their balance sheet in just 2 months. This is the biggest expansion of the money supply in such a short period in Canadian financial system history. Now, this is nothing new. Governments have done this throughout history. You can look back to Roman times when emperors would add more and more lead into the currency to keep up with government spending. The actions of the Bank of Canada are going to have an impact. We'd like to know what those impacts are. We would like to know what the consequences are. We have important questions in this chamber, in this parliament, as the role of the official opposition, so that Canadians can understand the consequences of all the options that the government is pursuing. How will the bank unwind all this stimulus? Will we see inflation, currency depreciation? We are deeply worried about the impacts this will have in the long term.